From coast to coast, a growing number of U.S. cities are seeing more flash flooding as heavy rain overwhelms old drainage systems.
But there is a new way to control flash flooding while still growing green spaces. Reporter Chris Conte tells us more.
There is something calming about a steady rain. But when that rain falls too hard and too fast, it can very easily overwhelm our nation's stormwater systems.
There is a seasonal pattern to the rain.
That is where Bardia Hidari,
the projections are telling us there's going to be more intense rainfalls,
and his colleague Sadie Randall come in.
The most marginalized, vulnerable communities for this kind of flooding are low-income communities of color.
They are both researchers at Texas A&M's AgriLife Center and have spent the last few years studying the impacts of how green stormwater infrastructure projects are mitigating major flooding in American cities.
We need to know how much we have to plan for ahead of time.
The concept is pretty simple. Instead of installing traditional drainage pipes, cities and towns install stormwater inlets. They're essentially sophisticated rain gardens. Native soil is replaced with a high infiltration engineered soil mix and plants.
We are basically tackling a problem with different solutions.
This team is seeing unintended benefits from the projects. Aside from helping to lessen the impacts of flash flooding, this green infrastructure is also filtering out pollutants that run off from roads and sidewalks.
You have these really kind of exciting co-benefits that are sort of able to double up on what you get for a single project.
But while many cities and towns have the money to build these projects, they don't necessarily have the money to maintain them.
Sometimes what look like great projects are going to bring some green space, they're going to bring some flooding mitigation to really underserved communities, end up being a bit of a burden. They entail a lot of work for the people who live there, or they can just become non-functional.
All of this comes at a critical juncture in American infrastructure. Many public works departments are seeing an influx of money from the bipartisan infrastructure bill, while at the same time having to grapple with intensified rainfall events.
They need new guidance, new recommendations.
According to the National Weather Service, 90% of U.S. cities have seen more intense rainfall events since 1970, making these kinds of innovative flood management projects even more important.
We're really trying to maximize specific functions in the landscape.
These two see green infrastructure projects as the next wave for the future of flood management, no matter when or where the rain might fall. I'm Chris Conte.